All right, everybody, welcome to part 2 of my reaction to the first 4 tracks of Moving Pictures from Rush. I just finished listening to those tracks. Now we're just going to kind of talk about them a little bit. If you want to see the first video, link will be in the comments and the description below. But let's just jump in and talk about these songs because they are absolutely fantastic. Track 1, Tom Sawyer. I don't know how many versions of this I've reacted to on here, but everyone's familiar with this song. I think pretty much anyone that's turned on a radio in their life. It's just a good song and a great way to start an album because the layering, the production, the effects, the musicianship is what you expect from Rush. Now, a little heavy on the mix with the synthesizers, in my opinion. I like them, but I can see like if someone wouldn't love that. I like synth stuff. I like that sound. I like that Rush kind of went that direction. So to me, it's a cool sound. It's a newer, move, but while retaining the sounds and the songwriting that they're known for. But yeah, I mean, not a ton and too much to say about Tom Sawyer because it's pretty much been said by me and probably a 1,000 other YouTubers. Not like I've never heard the song before, so not really all that surprising. But that I will say, of course, that intro is just iconic. That first, just that swell into it, and it just starts, and really, really cool way to start off an album. That's for dang sure. Track 2, Red Barchetta. Absolutely, again, so redundant to say, a fantastic song. The thing for me that makes that song, well, it's two things. One, the mix on that track is beyond astounding. I mean, that is some insane level production. The way that the layers and all the parts are crystal clear without overpowering any of the other parts. And that's really hard to do. I mean, I'm by no means an engineer, okay? I like to play guitar and, write my own stuff. But I'm not an engineer. I'm a guitar player. But knowing how hard it can be to sit in a home studio and do your stuff makes, like, peak audio engineering stand out as just incredible. And some of Rush's stuff just blows my mind how good it is. I mean, blows away stuff that I hear these days. Like, there's just something about it, and y'all know that, and it's killer. So that's the first thing about this song that stands out to me is the engineering. But the second thing is, I know people razz on Rush about their lyrics and being cheesy and all this stuff, but it just paints a picture where you can just kind of like transport yourself to this world and just put yourself there and just enjoy the story and the lyrics. And it's really, not a ton of songs can do that very well. But I feel like that's something that Rush does very well. And even longer songs, they do that very well. So I like that. I like being able to enjoy musicianship and a story. There's like kind of a sense of emotion that can go with the song. And I think that that's really unique. And yes, there are other bands who do it, so I'm not going to say it's uniquely Rush, but it is something about Rush that definitely stands out with them. But anyway, Red Barchetta, another killer song. Two fantastic songs in a row to start off this album. And maybe I've just been away from Rush for too long, but the production's just absolutely blowing my mind. Track number 3, YYZ. It's, again, already all been said by me, and so many others, and yeah, beating a dead horse again, but absolute mastery. This song kind of shows me, if Rush had wanted to, they probably could have made a career out of just instrumentals, because of course it would be insulting. It's almost insulting to say this, but they definitely have the ability, the know-how, and the songwriting capabilities for it. Duh. That is just such a sick instrumental. And there are so many good things about it that stand out. One, the songwriting and the musicianship, of course. Two, the mix on it. Like I said in part 1, a lot of people have this idea that bass needs to be just like buried in the mix and kind of just there to hold down the groove. But when you're dealing with a bass tone like this that cuts through in the mids, and you're doing these runs and these harmonics and stuff, reminds me a lot of like some of the stuff that Billy Sheehan plays. Man, why not just put that absolutely front and center and showcase it? I mean, good grief, everyone gets showcased in this song. Alex Lifeson, of course, tears it up. That just goes without saying, and as a guitarist, maybe people would expect that I would focus on Alex Lifeson a lot more, which I have done, and he very much impresses me. But something that just absolutely just always sucks me in is, I want to say, the rhythm section, the other two guys. Geddy Lee, man, he takes no prisoners. This guy does not hold back at all. And it's just crazy to me how Neil can absolutely hold down a groove when he needs to, but it's also crazy to me how he does so much without stealing from what the other guys are doing. So you listen to it, it's all cohesive and it's great. And then you hear the parts, like if you listen to them individually, it's almost like chaotic in a sense of what is going on. Like everyone's doing so much, but there's this absolute like perfect fusion that makes this like, well, all their stuff, but this song, a timeless masterpiece. I mean, guitar players will always listen to this, and drummers and bass players will always listen to this and go, my goodness, that's just dang good. And it is. It's so unbelievably good and so catchy too. And the way that they go from like this kind of like groovy sound into this more like emotional and then back into it is really cool. It's a multi-dimensional song that is just handled very, very well. Not enough good things to say about this track. I could go on forever about it. I could listen to it a million times and point out something that I noticed each time that was really cool. But yeah, suffice to say, mind-blowing every time you hear it, and I think it always will be. Like I said, timeless and just pure perfection. Absolute classic. Limelight. I may get some hate for this. Out of those 4 tracks, that one, to me, gives me the most, like, emotion and the most feeling. And to me, if someone said, hey, if you could write, like, one of these songs, what kind of music would you like to write? How would you like to be able to play? What sound would you go for, etc., etc.? No questions, 100% Limelight. The reason is it's the full package. It starts in a way that gets your attention, right? But then it has these big, like, arpeggiated chords. It has, it builds and it falls a little bit. It's got these swells. It's got these build-ups that are just mind-blowing. You know, the way that the chords are played, and the mixing and the production and everything about it, the vocals, it tells this, I don't even have the words for it, honestly, because it's Rush perfection. Now, I know that there's people who love Rush for their epic songs, okay? Their longer songs. They're more, I say obscure, not like in an unknown, like people don't know about them songs, but there's not a lot of bands who do songs like this, right? There's not a lot of bands that are writing songs like 2112. And, you know, this by all standards is a pretty normal song, a little over 4 minutes long, follows, you know, a basic song structure. But that's, to me, the thing about it that makes it so much better is it's your basic song structure, but it is so far from basic. And I don't know if it's like, you know, being on my studio speakers instead of on headphones, if I'm hearing stuff more, if there's more of a fullness to it. But just wow. Just wow. You know, as I'm listening to these songs, I'm like, oh, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. And then by the time I get to the end of the track, I'm just pretty much speechless. And then I end up saying a lot. But a lot of stuff I wanted to say I don't remember. I'd have to just listen to them over and over, and I could say so much different, you know, so many different things every time I listen to the track. Anyway, that's going to do it, you guys, for this side of this album. An incredible 4 tracks. Way to start off an album. In the next video, we will listen to The Camera Eye, Witch Hunt, and Vital Signs. And not only have I not reacted to those, I don't think I've even heard those songs. Certainly not recently. If I had, it would have been because somebody else was listening to them. And so yeah, any familiarity with them is going to be strictly coincidental. But incredible 4 songs. You guys, if you've made it this far in the video, you're incredible. Thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back, and it's good to be back with Rush. That's a dang fact. You guys, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.